First off, I think probably a year ago, I remember saying, hey, retail media networks are kind of dead. It's commerce media now. And here I am today telling you commerce media is dead. It's the hot trend, but it's a bad term because it's so much bigger than just commerce. I mean, we're talking about the companies we were talking about a year ago, the Albertsons, the Walmarts, the Roundells of the world. Sure, they're some of the early leaders. But it's really spread to be so much more than retail media, commerce obviously, but you look at United Airlines starting a travel media network. You look at like what Uber and Lyft are doing, transit media networks. You look at what every publisher is doing with their deep data sets and, are those entertainment media networks? I don't know. But literally every company on the planet that has data is thinking about how can they activate that data at the moments that matter, how can they monetize that data, how can they deliver a better customer experience. Now, we're fortunate at LiveRamp because we sit in the middle of all those things. I think we power over 130 of those networks. And what they're doing is so phenomenal because, it's not just selling media space. It is on deck, it's off deck, it's loyalty programs, it's how to merchandise the store, it's how to deliver better content in the screenbacks of airline seats. And so it's taking us into a direction that I'm not even sure it looks like advertising anymore. It's certainly marketing, but it's really communication and it's about the customer journey.
It's a big data play. And
Yeah.
with that becomes issues of concern that these data owners have in terms of the privacy, the security of their first-party data. What role do you play in making that safe and assuring them that it's safe to be interoperable?
Yeah, Andy, I would tell you anybody who's thinking about setting up a media network of any sort needs to be thinking about privacy and security of their data. It's really an opportunity to use a clean room and make sure that you configure the privacy controls, who can see the data, how they can use the data, the anonymization of the data. That's super important. And the other thing that's really important, Andy, is that you can't just think about it as data monetization. You have to think about it about these are my customers. This is data about the customers, and how can I use that data to deliver a better experience to those customers? And if you do that, then more prospects and consumers are going to give you permission to do interesting things on their behalf. If you ignore it, then they're going to shut off that data spigot pretty quickly.
So there's a lot of talk about audience targeting and retail media, and Albertsons is certainly a player in that field in terms of using their data, their shopper data, to power ad decisioning. Tell us how that works and your role in that.
Well, I'll give you an example, Andy. We published a case study. It's live on the LiveRamp website between Mondelez, Albertsons, and Pinterest. And each of them brought something unique. This isn't like a one-to-one collaboration. It's a multi-party collaboration. In this case, Mondelez wanted to sell more Triscuit crackers. They brought budget. Albertsons knew exactly who buys Triscuit crackers, both online and importantly in store, where most Triscuit crackers are sold. And Reddit provided, or Pinterest provided, just the reach, the tonnage, the audiences. And so all of them loaded up their respective information into a clean room. All of them got back the information they needed. This was one where it was, I might confuse these, 18% more new users to the Triscuit franchise and 15% lift in sales. Or maybe it was the exact opposite, but double digit in both cases. More new customers, more sales. And that's what you're looking for. And you can't get that. I mean, so many of the packaged goods companies don't have great information on their customers. Well, who does? Albertsons. And so why do you need some kind of, legacy third-party data provider when someone like Albertsons can tell you exactly who your customer is and also exactly whether they bought something after they saw an ad?
Cool. So Scott, you have a big conference, RampUp, at the end of February, which is one of the best shows in our industry. What are you excited about, and what do you hope some of the themes are?
Well, Andy, you've been a longtime attendee at RampUp. I'm so sorry we're going to miss you this year. But as you know, the power comes from the attendees and just the innovation that happens between the serendipitous connections. You know, most of the industry uses LiveRamp to power some form of connectivity. And so any company that's using us can partner with any other company that's using us, and they're going to innovate in all kinds of interesting ways, whether it's about data, whether it's about CTV, whether it's about AI applications, you know, whatever the flavor of the day is, you can be pretty sure it's going to be discussed at RampUp.